folks, this is Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're watching WGS-TV. Tough guy.
Hello everyone, I'm the Wrestle Gamer, WB Boudreaux, welcoming you to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFXTV. This is going to be the Monday Night Raw review for the week of July 7th, 2014. Man, this year is really flying by. I mean, we're already past the halfway point. But anyway, let me go ahead and introduce the panel for this week's Monday Night Raw review. First off, ladies and gentlemen, from YouTube.com/LanceMossTV, he is the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Let's have some fun.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, from the hood, over on iVlog, ladies and gentlemen, he's the Bay Area MVP, known as Will. Will, how you doing?
After that Bo Dallas El Torito match, I almost shot myself. Let's just get this review over with, please.
Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, well, Monday Night Raw this week, kind of a long format if you look at the overall scheme of things. 11 matches on this week's Monday Night Raw. Now, we're accustomed to seeing maybe a 9-card Raw, time in and time out. More accustomed to that. Sometimes you would see a 10-match card. 11-match card is just like, there was like the segments were very few and far between on this week's Monday Night Raw. We opened up with a segment of Roman Reigns talking about the matchup at Fatal 4-Way, which kind of prompts Kane to come out and without a microphone, and then Roman Reigns just kind of goads and kind of saying some derogatory remarks about Kane and being Randy Orton's, well, lapdog. We're going to be kind here. Which then prompts these two to go at it. Security comes out to separate them, and several things that I noticed. I don't know if you guys saw them, but I did. In fact, they were even trending on Twitter during Monday Night Raw last night. It was the fact that the guy that got pushed by Roman Reigns was Jamie Noble. The guy who got speared was Finlay, and the guy that stood in front of Kane, kind of telling him to back off, was Mike Rotundo, better known as Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas's daddy. Needless to say, Lance, chaotic way to start Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I mean, he was just trying to reminding Kane to do his taxes.
By the way, guys, if you guys are watching this live right now, we always record these reviews on Google Hangouts. So if you're watching this live and if you want to send us a question or a statement you would like to make, be sure you just click that little link that's in there, and we'll read it out loud here on the broadcast. Following that, we had a tag team match. The tag team champions, the Usos, in a non-title match, taking on Luke Harper and Erick Rowan. And my biggest pet peeve about this, Will, is again?
Yes, and I will start right there. Okay, again, in quotation marks, means that they have earned the right to be #1 contenders for the tag team belts. And you know what? If nobody paid attention to the new theme that Harper and Rowan got, it's actually better than that harmonical version of he's got the whole wide world in his hands. We'll probably get cussed out about it later. I mean, the theme actually works here. And overall, I've been saying it for months and months. Luke Harper is that shining star of the Wyatt family. Good match until the end, and there was a little bit of confusion. The ref didn't know who was the legal man. Jimmy was the legal man, not Jay, whatever umpire, referee, just kidding, trying to pull a jab to James. How you doing, James? No, so I guess Jay got pinned via Luke Harper's big-ass clothesline for the 1, 2, 3, and Harper and Rowan won, and Jimmy tried to tell the referee, you know, that's not me. I was the legal man. So I'll give that match a 3, but the referee start noticing the face paint. The left side of the face paint, Jimmy. On the right side is Jey Uso. Thank you.
One thing I've also picked up is the fact that this week's clothesline didn't look like it missed, from last week. If you guys remember that little grazing shot that Luke Harper did to kind of finish off that. But anyway, we go backstage. Kane and Randy Orton kind of talking about it. Randy Orton kind of trying to build up Kane, saying, I would have been out there. If you needed me, I would have been out there to have you back. Just like I trust that you have my back at Battlegrounds. And then that prompts Seth Rollins to kind of goad and taunt them with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Randy Orton saying, you know what, I really don't like this kid. And Kane responds by saying, you know what, I like him even less than I like you. So things are not all good in the hood, as they say it would. Up next, we had if we only had our Divas correspondent, but apparently he's not present with us for this week's review. Alicia Fox and Nikki Bella, and the stipulation for this match: both Divas must wrestle with one arm tied behind her back. But we kind of figured, right off the bat, as soon as Nikki Bella would get her arm tied behind her back, that Alicia Fox would go on the attack, and that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. It's just basically Nikki Bella getting beat down, and probably Alicia Fox getting marching orders, as they were, from Stephanie McMahon. I gotta say, at least the Divas are trying.
How's he looking? I'm all right.
Well, if you can call that match trying, I mean,
Trying to watch.
Yeah, true. I mean, there was the Steely Man Ashley actually pointed this out. There was no starting bell.
She's just worried about you.
No, the matchup never happened. It never got started because of the fact that both Divas had to have their arms tied behind their backs, and that did not happen. So that's why it was just basically a beatdown by Alicia Fox. Up next, some people would really say, well, that this is probably Rusev's first non-jobber opponent in the WWE in the form of Rob Van Dam.
Yes, I mean, I'm sorry if I'm not going to sound so nice about this match, so I apologize ahead of time, fans, and everyone here on WGS-TV. But at least RVD put up some type of match. But at the end of the day, what did we get? Gosh, accolade. Another one for Rusev. Why did I say that format, folks? Because it's the same storyline as Ryback. But give or take, take it for what it is. But something we didn't know until Zeb Coulter came on camera and has a challenge for Rusev, saying that Jack Swagger will fight Rusev at Battleground. Will they fight? I hope they do. Swagger was dying for a face turn for so long since he's been in the company, and I think this match would do very well. I think this would work. I don't know about you guys, but this would work.
Yep, and they also made the announcement that on Friday Night SmackDown this week. I don't know how much of a Ryback treatment they're gonna give it, but the featured match on SmackDown, it's Rusev taking on Roman Reigns on Friday Night SmackDown.
That is a watch.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I said on the Facebook page last night. That makes SmackDown really, really watchable. So I don't know if you guys agree. I definitely want to hear what you guys say that are watching this right now. But following that, we had a rematch from Friday Night SmackDown, of all places. Randy Orton taking on Dean Ambrose. It was a very good back-and-forth match. It came down to Randy Orton countering the Jawbreaker Clothesline. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up a Nigel McGuinness Ring of Honor match. That's all I'm going to tell you. The dude is a clothesline whore. Yeah, and the finisher was a Jawbreaker Clothesline, and Ambrose is doing it just the same way as Nigel McGuinness, so why not call it the Jawbreaker Clothesline? But it was Orton countering that into the RKO to get the victory. So Randy Orton kind of feels like he has a one-up on old Ambrose there. But up next, Dolph Ziggler the man who's probably considered Lance to be the most luckiest man on the planet, taking on Alberto Del Rio with Von Don Go on commentary, who can't speak up to save his life.
Yeah, I mean, we thought Jerry Lawler had trouble speaking in Montreal last time. This dude had no skills on the mic. And yes, I can say that because I'm from Memphis, and if anybody has a problem with what I just said, bring it on.
Yeah, he has a microphone pretty much almost like this one. I mean, it's got to be more sensitive, and all we can hear is... That's it. That's all you can get out of him. That's all you can get out of the guy. Then he gets on the announce table, starts flash dancing or something, dancing on the table, which is kind of...
And JBL literally
Ziggler.
enjoyed it. I mean, look, y'all look back. If you look at JBL's face, he was not having it freaking ever.
I don't blame JBL, but Del Rio picks up the win with the super kick right to the face of Ziggler. And on the main event, which is tonight, Sheamus has to defend the United States Championship against Alberto Del Rio. Again, I don't have the main event. I don't have the WWE Network, so I really can't help anybody when it comes to that. But anyway, going beyond that, we have the return of course, WWE Hall of Famer Bret the Hitman Hart, and he's going to play up to the crowd. The Montreal crowd's always been 100% behind Bret the Hitman Hart, even since before 1997. And he said if he could lace up his boots, anywhere, it would be in Montreal. And then of course we got the Damien Sandow identity crisis continuing, in the form of Bret the Hitman Sandhart. Really? Really?
Alright, here's the problem. And me and Rick Head from Hardcore Wrestling Radio, we were talking about this Saturday. Who did Damien Sandow piss off in the back? I mean, ever since he lost the Money in the Bank match to John Cena, things have not been so well for him. None whatsoever. I mean, I know Sandow's just trying to get by and earn a paycheck, but when does the term enough is enough really mean enough? I mean, this is not looking good for him. I would not be shocked if he's futurely endeavored before SummerSlam. Hate to be mean, but apparently he still has a job because ain't he one of the 12 members for the Battle Royal for the IC title?
I think so. I do believe.
But just to be a little bit nicer, Sandow, whoever you pissed off, don't do it again, because this is not looking good for you.
Alright, let's look at the track record we got now for this Damien Sandow identity crisis. He's been in Lance Stephenson. He was Bon Jovi on the 4th of July. Last week on Monday Night Raw, he was Vince McMahon. He was an interpretive dancer. What else has he been? Abraham Lincoln. He's been Magneto. Now he's Bret the Hitman Sandhart. I guess, I think it was said one time, I think it was even that you said it, Will, about, it was either you or James who said it, about him kind of copying the gimmick of Charlie Haas when he was in the WWE.
That was me. I was the one that did that.
But anyway, as we found out that Damien Sandhart had to take on Sheamus, and Sheamus hits the bro kick, JBL goes, Bret, screw Bret! Bret, screw Bret! Trying to sell it on commentary. But really? Sheamus picks up the victory, and one of the featured matches on Monday Night Raw this week, the return to the ring of Miz and Chris Jericho. The matchup only went, I want to say, maybe about 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and Jericho got the victory with the Walls of Jericho. And right off the bat, 5-minute match. I mean, Jericho came back, his last comeback, he was last year in the Royal Rumble. He started number 2 and probably went about 40, 50, almost an hour in the Rumble before he got eliminated. 5-minute match and he's winded? I don't know. Something's not right about that. I think Jericho might need to hit the gym again. But Bray Wyatt, as I expected, would make an appearance, did make an appearance as soon as the match was over, and started talking about how the Jericho Holics were all singing a different tune, and I gotta say, sure didn't sound like that. As soon as Jericho, one of his famous catchphrases, "Please shut the hell up." And now, one thing that Jason Pitts and I'm trying to remember who else it was on the Facebook page that put a comment about it. It was Casey Cunningham, I think it was, who said, why aren't they making a 6-man tag? Jericho and the Usos taking on the Wyatt family, and Lance, I would not be surprised to see that at Battlegrounds.
True, and I got one thing to say about the whole Y2J being out of shape. I highly doubt that was the case. I personally believe it was more The Miz being out of shape, because Jericho, as a showman, runs up and down across the stage like nobody's business. I personally believe it was The Miz who was out of shape. Okay. You might be right on that one, but it was just something I noticed on the video. Like right after he starts the promo, interrupting Wyatt, that he was kind of breathing hard for it as well. So I was just, just making an observation about that. But we got 2 golden people on the microphone now involved in this feud: Jericho and Bray Wyatt. I mean, where else can they go from here? I know that Jericho is bringing back the highlight reel, which is on tonight on Main Event, and the special guest being Bret the Hitman Hart. So I don't know if they'll have the Wyatt family interrupt the highlight reel on Main Event. If they really want to see a continuation to this feud, I would not be surprised or shocked at all, Lance, to see that happen. Probably will happen. I mean, that's how the Wyatts do. They have no, please just keep, they have no, I'm going to let you finish, they just come and beat your ass.
Now, up next, probably a tag team match that kind of was, something happened that was expected and unexpected. Now, the unexpected part, it was the Funkadactyls taking on Paige and her tag team partner, the Divas champion, AJ Lee, who is not pregnant. Despite what kind of, some dude on last week's comment kind of made mention of CM Punk and his silver bullet, we'll say that, and how powerful his silver bullet is. And we'll leave that to your imagination. Now, what was kind of unexpected, it was something I put on the Facebook page. Well, I was really expecting a heel turn, full heel turn for Paige during this match. Like she would stab AJ in the back, or just walk out in the match and let the Funkadactyls beat the crap out of her. But it turned out to be just the opposite to the other team. Cameron turning heel and Naomi attacking her. What are your thoughts on that?
It was to be expected. And where are you at, James? Probably hiding under a dumpster and a cheeseburger in his car, but no. I'm gonna be honest. I think that.
By the way, that ding we just heard was James passing a stone.
But no, oh no, this match was not the match you would expect, but I didn't see no deception in Paige trying to jump AJ. It was a fair match, and yes, like you said, we didn't expect, Cameron turning on Naomi. But the thing was, if you go back to that video on, I think it was about a month ago, where Cameron interrupted Paige when she was doing a conference, that already had signs of a heel turn. And you know what? I hate to be a pessimist here, but this is good for Naomi. Naomi got too much talent, and she can do a lot better. Cameron can't wrestle for shit. And I'm going to say this on record. I don't watch Total Divas. I don't have time for Total Divas, even though it's
Neither do I.
WWE targeted for fans. I don't care. It's just Rick got me convinced not to watch Total Divas. So ha, you waste your 30 minutes. Bottom line, Naomi is gonna do better by herself. She's athletic. She can wrestle, and look who she's married to. Cameron got nothing, and expect AJ Page at SummerSlam. I'm calling it. Let's do it.
No, definitely a bold proclamation. As a lot of people are making bold proclamations when it comes to SummerSlam. You might see a future video for that here on WGS-TV. Following that, the rematch between Cesaro and Kofi Kingston. My only hope was that this match wasn't going to end on the WWE app like it did last week, and it did not. It did not. Kingston once again getting the victory over Cesaro, and just like we saw last week, Cesaro cheap shotting Kofi Kingston, attacking him, and then out comes Big E to make the save. And are we looking at possibly a triple threat match, or even maybe just Big E taking on Cesaro on Battlegrounds? Lance, what do you think?
It's looking like it. I don't know why, but it's looking like it.
Yeah, it's very hard to tell exactly where they're going. But you know what? No, I take that back, because I know they're all involved in the Battlegrounds Battle Royal for the Intercontinental Championship, and that just, it was just like a dawning. Yeah. So that's probably what it was. Up next, guys and gals, whenever you believe, you can do anything, and it turned out to be just that. And a lot of people on the Facebook page wanted to believe as Bo Dallas took on El Torito, But here's the thing. Bo Dallas, even though he's just a rookie, is not 3MB. They could let El Torito run roughshod on 3MB, but if they're building up Bo Dallas to do something in the WWE, which is pretty much what they're doing right now, it would, in my eyes, if they wanted someone to snap the streak of sorts of Bo Dallas right now, El Torito would have been the worst person ever. It's not meant as an insult, but looking at his stature of his character in the WWE, that's the worst person to have someone break the streak of someone like Bo Dallas, who you're trying to really build up.
Hold on, WGS fans. Let me take a sip of water, because this is not going to take long. And that is how much I don't care.
Hey, I got one little thing to say. El Torito just came up a little short.
And see, here's what I don't understand. I know that they're trying to build him up as being a heel. Okay, we understand that. He is a prototype failed version of Simon Dean, for those who don't know who he is with the Simon system. But I'm going to try to be a little bit more nice, because this ain't Hardcore Wrestling Radio, and I want to say a lot of things, but I don't know where this is going to lead for Bo Dallas, other than he's 12-13-0. Who cares? I haven't kept count. If you smart wrestling fans kept count, that's fine, but who's going to break the streak? Good question. But this is a lot worse than when Batista took that Simon Dean taste of that drink in 2005, for those who don't remember. And it was on a SmackDown. But truth is, no one knows where this is going to land. Nobody really knows. The match, I'll just give it a 0.5, because not just because they were in Canada, but there were a little bit of boos for El Torito. I've noticed that. And they gave somewhat cheers for Bo Dallas. So I don't know. I just don't know.
It's definitely hard to say exactly where they're going with this. But no, like I said, I firmly believe, when you're building someone up like Bo Dallas to either be a good heel in the company, I think the worst person to have him have him lose to and break that streak would have to be El Torito, because he's just basically comical entertainment, as it were. Despite how talented, physically talented he is, because he can do a lot of things a lot of people can't. But I don't know. It would have to be somebody bigger up on the food chain, and it's not meant as a crack towards his size either. Following that, guys, match 11 of Monday Night Raw, the main event, John Cena, who apparently now is hated by everybody in Montreal, Canada, or Quebec, or whatever language that Montreal.
Yeah.
All right. But apparently Bizarro Land hates John Cena more than they hate Seth Rollins. Now, I had no problems with the main event match, and actually it was a very, very well worked match between the two. I really wanted to see, honestly, a solid finish between the two, but we did not get the opportunity to see that. As expected, Randy Orton Kane came out and attacked John Cena, causing disqualification. Roman Reigns comes in to make the save, and then he gets hit in the head with the Money in the Bank briefcase by Seth Rollins, kind of knocking him out. The same is done to John Cena, and then Rollins realizes, oh, he's out. I can cash in. So he calls out a referee, starts handing him the briefcase, and just like last week, Dean Ambrose spoils the cash-in for Seth Rollins. So,
I'm not gonna let whoever's out there keep us from getting
and you would think Monday Night Raw would have ended right there. Did not. It did not. Randy Orton gets back into the ring, attempts to RKO John Cena, and to the boos of everybody in Canada, John Cena picked him up and gave him the attitude adjustment. Kane was about to chokeslam him, and Roman Reigns out of nowhere spears Kane. And then we end Monday Night Raw with Roman Reigns and John Cena taking turns lifting each other's arm up. Of course, when Roman Reigns would lift up the arm of Cena, they would boo like the ignorant people. Now, I'm not saying that they're ignorant for having their own opinion. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying find a better reason to hate him. Find a better reason to hate him than, oh, he's in our face. Well, if he's in your face all the time being shoved down your throats, then guess what? He's doing something right, because if he wasn't doing something right, he wouldn't be on TV. Now would he? I wonder if anybody thought about that. That maybe John Cena's actually doing his job right, and that's why he's getting all this airtime and not screwing up. It's just something. It's just something I'll throw out there. Just something for people to think about. But, of course, when Cena would raise the arm of Roman Reigns, the crowd would go nuts. But that's pretty much how they ended Monday Night Raw. And unfortunately, no Facebook fan reviews. But like I said, whenever we get Facebook fan reviews sent into Facebook.com/WGS-TV, we will read them out loud here on the official reviews. And on that note, it is now time to go into overall scores and our picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw. Segments, like I said on this week's Monday Night Raw, were very, very few and far between on this week's Monday Night Raw. If I had to name something, most confusing segment, what the hell was that crap with Goldust and Stardust? That's all I'm going to say. Overall, like I said, like on the onset of this review, it's not very often we see an 11-match card on a Monday Night Raw. Customarily, we see a 9 or a 10-match. 11 matches, and that's a very match-heavy Monday Night Raw. Now, I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but it was a very match-heavy. A lot of action for this. I got to say, best match of the night really has to go to, I would have to say, John Cena and Seth Rollins. It was a very well-worked match. My only grievance about it, I wanted to see a solid finish. We did not get that chance. With the Authority, Randy Orton, Kane coming in to attack John Cena. We did not get to see a good, solid finish between Cena and Rollins, because I think they could have stole the show for Monday Night Raw. They could have just let them go all the way without having Orton and Kane come in there, because it was a very well worked match. So I don't think that the need to have Kane and Randy Orton out there, even though they are part of the Fatal 4-Way match. I think that's probably why they had the insertion of them there. But they could have just let Cena and Rollins steal the show to close out Monday Night Raw, in my opinion. Worst match of the night. Poor Damian Sandhart. Poor Damian Sandhart. Like Lance said, who did he piss off in the back? Now, I'm not saying that. I'm glad he's starting to come up with his own names for it, though. I mean, last week Vince McMahon down. On this one, Damian Sandhart. He's just coming up. He's coming up with ingenious names to his characters, rather than just coming out and just taking the character name of like a Magneto or a Lance Steven, or he didn't even have a name for the interpretive dance guy. But I gotta go with that. I really gotta go with that. It's either that or I'll go with Alicia Fox and Nikki Bella, the match that never really happened to begin with. So that's pretty much been my take on Monday Night Raw, which gets a 3.25 out of 5. Let's go to Lance next, get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Lance?
Overall, I'll give it a 3.5. Pretty good show. I got all 4 categories. Best match, I got to give it to Orton and Ambrose. I mean, we finally heard our first CZW chants. And 2, it was an awesome match. Worst match, Nikki Bella versus Alicia Fox. Why? Best segment, well, this is kind of a tie between the in-ring back and forth between Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho, and whatever in the blue hell that was between Stardust and Goldust. That was just it was weird. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was awesome. And worst,
I watched it back on YouTube, and I still don't understand what they said.
And worst, Sandhart, you poor bastard.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to Will and get his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Will?
Mike.
Will is having some microphone issues real quickly, but while we wait for that, what we want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week? Your reactions to seeing the return of Bret the Hitman Hart. Your reactions to Damian Sandhart. Your reactions to such a match-heavy Monday Night Raw. 11 matches on this week's Monday Night Raw.
You damn right that was match-heavy.
But as Will is now ready, ladies and gentlemen, for his overall score and his picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Will?
Okay, sorry about that. I had you on mute because I was helping out on the Facebook page really quick. I can give it a 3.5. I mean, 11 matches. Damn. Hey, there you go. Hate to go outside the box here, but I think the best match, I would have to say, again, because it showed a lot of promise, was Usos versus Harper and Rowan. Sad it was a non-title match, as they already have a match for Battleground. Good match. Worst match, yeah. Just Sheamus taking Sandhart to school.
That was funny. We was trying to put on the sharpshooter, wasn't it?
Yeah. Best segment, Kane told Orton off after Rollins left, looking like he was high-mighty with the Money to Bank briefcase. Worst segment, I can only say this. Oh, honestly, I really don't say it as much as I should. But how in the hell would Fandango rape JBL's cowboy hat like he did on the announce table? This is not twerk night, Fandango. You're there to work. You're matching your gimmick, but you're raping his hat.
So that's what that look on GVO's face was for.
Oh my god. Oh
And
man.
the poor kids that were like 2-3 rows back, if you were to watch the video again, there were a couple kids that were 3 rows back, like, Mommy, is that twerking? Fandango, you should be ashamed of yourself.
So, well, you guys have heard what we have to say on this week's Monday Night Raw. So, what we want to know is, what do you guys have to say about Monday Night Raw this week? Again, we want to know your overall scores, your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw, your reactions to the return of Bret the Hitman Hart. How about that? Your reactions to the exchange between Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho on the microphone, and your reactions to John Cena, of course, having all of Canada hate him for doing his job right. So we definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMossTV?
Album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, Redneck Gourmet cooking videos, and a whole bunch of other musical equipment reviews and whatever's pops in my head. And if you hadn't subscribed, why hadn't you?
And ladies and gentlemen, he's on the hood over on iVlog. It's the Bay Area MVP known as Will. Will, you got anything coming up in the hood?
Gunshots, bottles thrown, firework debris. No, just kidding.
I had to ask.
Well, right now, like we said, we're taking a summer break from iVlog right now. To tell you the truth, iVlog is going through a little bit of a maintenance problem at the moment, so they should have things up. So we should be back to casting right around a week after SummerSlam is over. You know, World Cup is still here. Football season's coming up, so look out for that. And for those interested in fantasy football, NFL.com has now got everything you need to join the team. So look out. And don't be a Fandango. Save the hats.
Fans, don't forget to like the Facebook page, facebook.com/WGS-TV, and don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network if you haven't already. So for the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV and the Bay Area MVP known as Will, I'm the Wrestle Gamer. Don't believe only Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.
And Fandango, when it comes to hats, no means no.